This is Anthony, and I'm going to be showing how to block a website using IP tables on VM3. So the first thing I want to do is log in as root, punch in the password. Now I want to go ahead and make sure I clear out any of the IP table rules that I've probably put in here or are from previous parts of this assignment. So what I'm doing right now is actually stopping, starting, and restarting the firewall. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and check to make sure that my IP table rules are empty. And as you can see, there's no rules here. So now let's proceed to block a website. The website that I'm going to block is one provided here in this tutorial, which is CyberCity. So they provide a quick way for blocking IP addresses or to the outside connection. So I'm going to just scroll down to that. So we want to first type in host -ta cybercity.biz. This will return us an IP address for that specific website. Now what we want to do is we want to find the CIDR address, CIDR. This command returns two addresses. So these three addresses, the IP address of the website and these two CIDR addresses, are going to be the two things I'm going to block. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to follow these commands for blocking a specific website. Starting out, I want to notice that my environment for VM3 actually has two IP addresses, 192.168.3.4 and 192.168.2.6. These are the two IP addresses that I gotta make sure I block and the source for my IP table rules. With that being stated, go over here and I start typing these in. Alright, I'll pause this as I type these in. Okay, so as you can see that I have input all the IP table rules. I have, for the output, I'm blocking one of my IP addresses on my VM3. I'm setting it for output, and I'm selecting all the IP addresses that were associated with this host, and I'm telling it to drop. Also did the same thing for input. I did all the two IP addresses here, the destinations, and then I selected those as drop as well. You can also go in and check the IP table rules to make sure that the IP table is updated. And as you can see here, it has all of my drops that I have. So Now I just need to go ahead and test it. So we'll start pinging 7486.144.194. And as you can see, it is no longer permitted for me to access this website. I'll just go ahead and Control C here. I'll try to access it using Firefox. And as you can tell, it's hung up, and it won't connect to the website. So that was the part of connecting VM3 or blocking VM3 from reaching a specific website using IP table rules. Now, let's go ahead and look at our next objective. Let's pull up the lab content. So, I just finished objective 8, and I have displayed to you the current firewall configurations for blocking that. Now, I want to block all incoming service requests from VM1 to VM2. So, I will get my VM1 and VM2 up, and I will continue the video. Alright, so now I will show how to block all incoming service requests from VM1 to VM2 on port 80. First, I'll look at my lab environment. I'll figure out which one. The VM1 and VM2 are share the net 1. So this is the IP address of VM1. This is the IP address of VM2. So going to VM2, I want to block port 80. I'll type in the commands, tables. I'll put in the IP address. I will put the destination, which is mine. I will put so this is the command. I want to block all connections to VM2 from VM1 using port 80. Those will be dropped. So now, looking back at my lab content, the next thing that I need to accomplish is I need to block ICMP ping requests from VM2 to VM1. So I need to go to VM1. So from the lab content, I need to, when it comes back up, I need to block the ICMP ping request from VM2 to VM1. So I go to VM1, type in the commands. The protocol is ICMP. Oh well, I'll do it this way. The source is VM2. and the protocol ICMP dash ICMP and just to make sure, I need to put in the destination, which would be VM1, which is 192.168.1.5. Just like that, I have blocked all ICMP echo requests from going from VM2 to VM1. The source is VM2, the destination is VM1. I am blocking the protocol ICMP request, echo request, drop, and this should be now added to my table. Going back down and finishing this off, they want me to log traffic on Ethos0 interface of VM2 and display the log results using the firewall. So I'll go to VM2. I will find the log results rules to make sure. Ethos0. So I will type in the rules make sure I put on Ethos0. I am the source, which is 192.168.1.9. I want to log So what I'm doing here is I'm writing a command that will log all of the packets on this specific IP address for VM2 on Ethos0. The command is now plugged in. The next thing that I'll do is check the lab content one more time. So I need to display the firewall log results using the firewall command. I'll just go back over here. And as you can see, typing in the firewall commands, I have started the logging. I have also displayed what is I have displayed the logs for the IP table of this machine. So going back to my lab content to make sure I answer all the questions, enter the command to save the current firewall configuration. So to do this, I will use this command. IP tables dash s save root my active.firewall rules cat root. And as you can see, I have saved my current firewall configuration that I've set up on VM2, making sure that I've answered all the questions, and I have. Thank you.